Let's find out if we can fill in these dead patches with Hydro Mousse. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. So this is Hydro Mousse liquid lawn. You actually put everything that you need here and spray it onto those dead patches. And what we're going to do here is just put this together first. Now, you get a couple of things. You get a bag of seed here, and because I'm going to be pretty aggressive with the test here, I'm going to use all the seed. So they do have some markings on the side for how much to fill up. And you can see here on the side of the container, for the square footage that you're trying to cover, you would fill up to those areas, but I'm going to use it all today. So you just put all your seed in there. Looks just like regular grass seed. And then you get this, the seed coating formula, and it comes in this little pouch, and the coating formula is in this little water soluble pouch, and that will coat the seeds. I think gives them a little bit of fertilizer and protects them. And then you just take the sprayer portion here and screws on the top. And now that the top is attached there, you can see where it will shoot out the water mixed with the seeds right there. You'll have a dial right here. It's off right now, but you can just move this to where it'll just spray water, which is nice because you can soak some of the dirt. And then you can move it here to light seed, again off, or heavy seed, which is really what I'm going to use because we're getting a lot of rain around here. So I'm not too worried about getting enough water on it, but I really want to get the seed laid down. So that's how you'll do it. And then you will attach your garden hose right into the back here and then turn on your water. You want to make sure the water's not flowing beforehand. And then we will lay this sucker down. I've got this area with a lot of dirt patches here, and the reason is a couple years ago I actually had a new drain pipe installed, and you can see that the grass seed that I laid down came in a little patchy, and so I have, exposed dirt right here. It's a hot, dry day, and it just looks much worse than the rest of my lawn, which is nice and green. So I'm just going to twist the dial here to water, and you can see that we can wet down the area that we're going to spray in. And this is actually good because you can moisten up that soil, make sure that the seeds will kind of stick to the area where you're going to lay this down. So I'm going to turn back on, and I'm going to go to water to heavy seed. And look at that. You can see there, it's coming out kind of green, so you can see where you're laying it down, that's for sure. And I'm just going to really try to get all the places that are bare patches. That's really the key. And the dye in here is really nice because it kind of shows you where you've laid it down. Now I'm going to move a little quickly here because I've got this on heavy seed, but one of the things that I'll show you afterwards when we get in on the close-up is I'll show you, I can see the seeds being laid down. So I'm assuming that this little additive that you put in there is the dye so that you can see where you're putting it, as well as maybe a little bit of nutrients and fertilizer, something like that. But man, it goes down pretty quick. I can't see laying seed any easier than this. Just kind of walking around with a hose, basically. You can see how many dead patches we have here. Pretty obvious. One of the things that I want to do here is kind of get all the seed and everything down before it starts raining because, as we are in the spring here, I think one of the nice things is the normal rain will help do a lot of the watering for me. I won't have to necessarily come out here every day and water it, but on dry days, kind of like it is today, I would come out and give it a little sprinkle. So step one done. The seeds come out in the heavy pretty quickly, and the green dye, while it's really helpful as it's going down, actually disappears pretty quickly. You can still see some of the green dye like on these grass blades right up here, but we definitely have seed down here. And now we are just going to wait and see if any of these little bare patches start to grow some grass over the next few weeks. So this is the 1 week update, and you can see here that little trough where I had the bare spots looks about the same. I can still see some of the seed on there, and it's been hot a couple of days of the week, or like really hot in the 80s. And on those days I came out here and I did a quick little sprinkle with some water. And then a couple of the other days we had some really, really light rain. So obviously the grass is still growing, but we've got pretty obvious dirt spots there still. So we'll give it another week and check in on it. Almost week 2, and now we're starting to see some pretty dramatic differences. Now the grass isn't cut, so some of the dry area and the patchy areas are a little obscured by taller grass. But what I was really encouraged about is if we go into some of these dry areas, Might be hard to see there, but we have some little grass blades coming up. Maybe we'll see in there a little bit better. Some really young grass. So, and even right here, maybe we'll see that really young grass coming on in, which is great. I mean, already right now, it looks better. And as that grass continues to come in, I think all these little bald areas are going to virtually disappear. And then you won't even be able to tell that this was kind of dug up in a trench a few months ago. Hey, I think that's pretty successful. I expect this to continue to look better and better. So, you know, by week 2, I'm starting to see results. I would say week 3, week 4, I think all the spots are going to start disappearing. So if you want to pick up the Hydro Mousse, I will put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.